Oh boy, I can't wait to get to this main event.
Oh yeah! I'm excited.
By the way, it's Real Honesty with Jonn and
The Terminator.
A TLC review where we're going to start on the pre-show. Because you had the expendable parts of Coach. Why is Coach still employed?
Yeah, the unexpendables.
I mean, and Booker wrestled at least. Otunga sort of did, and Sam was there. I don't know why. Just keep him away from the German announcers. But anyway, Coach screwed up when the Shield debuted. And said that they debuted at TLC when they in fact debuted a month before Survivor Series. Coach deserved to be fired. Cedric versus Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title on the pre-show!
Yes! Why is 205 Live on the pre-show? Because Vince McMahon likes big, sweaty men. And for some reason, this massive amount of talent he seems to think belongs on the pre-show when the Mixed Match Challenge is on the main show. Now, I don't know about you. I could give no fucks about Mixed Match Challenge. I have 0 fucks to give. And somehow that made the first match of the main show when the Cruiserweights, who could easily get a crowd invested back into a pay-per-view, would have been well fit in the middle of the entire pay-per-view.
At least third, fourth match in. I mean, on the main card.
Like,
I totally agree with you, though.
Like, if you were to follow up the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose match with that could draw people back into it. And we'll get into that.
More Finn and Drew.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a good match, as you would expect with these two performers.
Yeah.
Buddy won. No real shock there for me, though I would have totally been behind your idea of Cedric winning and facing Ali again.
Yes.
But Buddy winning, maybe you have Tony Nese turn on something like that. I don't know.
Yep.
But you got some people. You have Noam Dar, even though I think Noam Dar's kind of transferring over to the NXT UK.
Which I would love to see him at.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's great at that. They got enough talent, they got enough moving parts, they just have everything in their own little bubble, and bubbles are going to burst eventually. But moving on from that, we'll do a rant about the current WWE product at some point.
Yeah.
At this point, it was on the pre-show, it was a good match, but he won. Becky did a promo that was absolutely lovely. They implied that Lars is going to debut tonight, and he did not.
Nope.
He's going to debut on SmackDown, hopefully.
Yeah. They need a giant.
He is going to beat up AJ Styles and write him off TV for a bit.
Giddy up! Oh, right.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
You had to make me think of that, huh?
Yeah.
Is this because of the gay community line?
Probably.
Okay, there we go. Elias versus Lashley in a guitar pole ladder match. WCW 2000 lives again.
Now, this is a match that the stipulation itself belongs on the pre-show because it's a stupid fucking stipulation.
Yep.
Been stupid fucking stipulations. If you have to put them on a show, put them on the pre-show. The performers in it, however, Lio Rush, Bobby Lashley, Elias are all excellent athletes, excellent talents. Leo is a little annoying on the mic, but that's his dig. That's what he's good at. None of them really belonged on a pre-show in such a stupid stipulation. Yeah, such a stupid stipulation. That's some good alliteration.
It was. And the problem is the ladder bumps. I mean, the ladder bumps were decent. It wasn't bad, but it's just guitar ladder match. This reminded me of the nightstick on a pole match that they had with Big Boss Man and Nails in '92. Should have put Russo on the forklift right there.
And left him.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been for that.
Bro!
And then the forklift swerves, bro. But let's get back to it. Just Elias won, and then Lashley and Leo beat him up. And
yes.
I get it. Lashley looks so uncomfortable, so uninterested.
Here! Oh, let me squeeze my ass. That's not awkward at all.
He just looks like he just doesn't care. He looks like he's thinking, maybe I should have. He wouldn't have stayed in Impact because he did everything he needed to do there and reinvent himself. Fuck, he should have done some MMA stuff or something. He better be getting a shitload of money from WWE.
Yeah.
Because he has had some of the worst goddamn booking. I'm not saying that he's the greatest thing ever, but fuck, he deserved better. And Elias deserved better. Now, he won, but then he got laid out. So, unless they're going to give Elias...
So, in other words, the match meant absolutely nothing.
Basically. It was bad.
Yeah.
Elias is still over, though. Got the crowd really on their feet.
Yes.
Jinder and Alicia versus Truth and Carmella for the Mixed Match Challenge final on the main card.
Speaking of things I don't give a fuck about.
The crowd was chanting for this. The Sharks deserve to never win the Stanley Cup again. I'm ashamed of you guys.
Yeah,
you guys are idiots. Vic Joseph was on commentary, and Renee was in a bathrobe.
So here's the bad. The match. Here's the good. It was after the match. Because, I'll be honest, do you give a fuck about the match?
No.
Exactly.
Truth and Carmella are number 30 in each respective Rumble.
Yes. After it, when they were deciding the vacation location, they were supposed to have decided it before the matchup, and R-Truth had made that executive decision and decided to book them a vacation to WWE headquarters. Because the company probably couldn't afford a vacation.
It's because Hogan didn't want to send the brothers anywhere, brother.
Who wants to go to Connecticut? Said nobody ever.
Sorry, Graham. Love you. I've only been to Connecticut a couple times. Heard it's a beautiful state, but, yeah.
It's not exactly a vacation destination.
I would imagine not, but, I would imagine it's a good retirement state.
Yeah, I mean, you go to, like, the Thimble Islands, where there's, like, a bunch of houses out on these remote islands that can't get phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, I'll have to look that up. Yeah, this just
They're right off of, was it Bradford, Connecticut?
Sam Bradford.
I know a lot about Connecticut, because I work for the phone company.
Of course you do. But yeah, Truth and Carmella, number 30 in each Rumble. Yeah, I hate this. I hate all this.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of the Rumble number game, you guys want to be a part of it, get at me on either Twitter or get at me in the comments. If I've already added you, I'll like the comment and tell you.
The Rumbler number game, as it is now known.
Okay. You can call it that.
You get assigned a number, or you get to choose a number.
Mainly, I assign you the number.
Yeah.
I let you choose the numbers. But...
And you have to root for whatever number you chose.
Yeah, you have to root for whatever talent comes out. I'm not sure if it's going to be just till Mania or if it's going to be till July. I'll decide.
Yeah.
But anyway, now we move on to New Day versus The Bar versus the Usos for SmackDown Live Tag Titles. It was a good match, but Tom Phillips said at one point, "Down goes Shamey."
Yes.
You fucking idiot.
Tom Fucker Phillips.
Oh, God. It was a good match.
You really fucked the face of that script.
God, it was a really good... It was a good match with good exchanges, but they need more teams in this. I didn't care enough about this. The Bar retained, which shocked me. I actually thought the Usos were going to win. Maybe Sandy comes out and actually beats Cesaro and Sheamus, or Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the match, but it was basic.
Yeah.
It was well wrestled. But then we get to Corbin versus Braun early in the night.
Yeah.
TLC match, and Corbin's out there, Slater's out there, and Corbin says to Slater start counting because Braun didn't come out. And right about the count 7 or 8, Braun's music hits.
9!
Where, yes, apparently Slater just forgot how to count because the music distracted him. But you know what that means.
Slater's in cahoots!
He is, because you find out later. Braun comes out.
He's in cahoots with somebody else!
he has a sling on and everything because
He's a sling-on. It's like a Klingon, but they like to just, hang around.
There was a thing in Atlanta, Georgia. Never mind. Right. So Braun was in a sling, and he said, "So you wanted me to count it out, but there's no countouts, no disqualifications, which means I can have people help me, or somebody help me." And Corbin's
which
wondering,
also meant that if Braun Strowman was unable to show up to the match, that we'd be sitting there all night.
It's a good point.
Exactly.
And what happened is Braun's out there, and then Apollo Crews appears at ringside.
Hey, it's Apollo!
Chad and Rude show up.
Yes.
And Finn shows up on another side. And then Slater... Wait, was there anybody else in the match? No, there wasn't anybody else. Then Slater takes his shirt off, and they just start beating the... Everybody else has chairs besides Slater. They're beating the piss out of Corbin.
Yes.
Which is exactly what should have happened.
Correct.
This is way more entertaining, I thought. Corbin tries to leave. Angle's music hits. He grabs a chair off of the one of the tables and just starts beating Corbin with it, hopefully knocking some wrestling sense into him. And, yeah. And then they get in the ring, beat him down. Everybody hits their finishers.
Yep.
And then Braun pins him with 1 foot.
Yes. If you can't have Braun fight, this was the best way to do this match.
And it was perfect because I think they realized that doing this whole thing with Corbin has not been working.
Yeah.
it's not his fault the ratings are down.
No.
He's doing the best he can. It's Vince's fault, and Vince will admit that. Or have a coronary, I don't really care at this point, but anything to get him off TV.
Yeah.
But hopefully the XFL for one season. But yeah, that was perfect. Braun won. Cool. Corbin's out of power. Any of you Corbin fans that are upset about this, you're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was perfect storytelling.
Yeah, and maybe now he can get back to wrestling.
Because he was so good at that before.
I mean, at least he can get better?
He's had 4 years to get better, Chris.
Yeah, but he's not Nia.
I know, but that's just... No. We'll talk about Nia here in a bit. Actually.
Oh, yeah!
But... Braun won. It was what it was. And then Maddie versus Ruby Riott in a tables match. Let me say that this match actually well done with the story they were telling.
The story coming up to this match, not so much.
This is not on Ruby. This is not on Maddie. This is on Creative.
I was like, is it on Liv Morgan? Oh gosh.
Shall's Ariana 15. You stopped thinking about being on Liv Morgan.
That table bump from Liv Morgan.
Liv, I hope Liv's okay. I hope Sarah.
I hope she lives.
I'm disappointed I missed the chance for that pun. I'm disappointed I missed that. But yeah, hopefully Liv's okay, because they took her out. There were some scary bumps tonight.
Yeah.
Sarah went through a table. There was some good psychology and everything, but I hated the whole thing of bringing Neidhart's, or, Jim Neidhart's passing into this. Mainly because...
Not a good idea.
It wasn't because this feud didn't need it. First, it was over sunglasses.
Yeah.
And the Manchester crowd.
I mean, at least we didn't get... Eddie's not in heaven!
Jim's down in hell, no. Jim Hellwig is.
Yeah.
Warrior can burn in hell for all I care.
But he's Jim Warrior.
No, he's actually just legally Warrior.
Yeah.
And dead. So, it was a good 2014.
Legally Dead, the sequel to Legally Blonde nobody wanted.
Reese Witherspoon's career is legally dead.
Reese withered. Anyway, back on subject.
Just pictured her selling prunes now. So anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me. But, moving on. Ruby and Natty had some good table spots and some good wrestling. The problem is Ruby lost, which, look, I get why Natty won. The story was fit perfectly for Natty to win.
But the Riot Squad was subsequently buried because of it.
Yes, which isn't Natty's fault, it's all on Creative. This was just... Ruby should have gotten this win if they hadn't brought her, Natty's dad into this and had just made a personal feud. Okay.
Yeah, and you could have something like Ruby Riott is trying to take out the old guard. That would have been a perfect thing for a stable as young as them.
But no, they didn't do the thing.
They did not do that thing.
They did the bad thing.
They did the wrong thing.
Yes. Not the right thing.
Right.
Natty won.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel bad for Ruby. I hope Liv's okay. And best hopes and best wishes to Sarah and Ro. It's Ro of the Warriors that they're married. Yeah, they're getting married. Really good for them.
Couple days.
Yeah, good for them. Right around Christmas.
Yeah.
So anyway, hell of a honeymoon.
Have one hell of a Viking wedding.
She could flock his tree all night. I ruined it, didn't I?
Okay.
Drew versus Balor. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match.
I'm glad Finn was able to come back because he had that illness.
But. Yeah. Drew McIntyre lost this one. But due to interference, as commentary made sure to tell that it took 2 guys in a chair to take down Drew McIntyre. But Drew shouldn't have lost this one. And as much as I want Finn Balor to get the push that he so rightfully needs and deserves and has earned through his career,
they aren't going to give it to him.
It's going to prove inefficient with Drew McIntyre being this big star on the cusp of being one of the biggest stars in WWE. If you don't capitalize on it soon, it's gonna be Braun Strowman all over again.
And you can't...
People are still gonna love him. Or hate him. As, he's a heel.
Right.
But he's not gonna reach the full potential of what he can do if you don't push him to the fucking moon.
And I get it, but Drew should win the Rumble first off.
Yes.
He should.
Absolutely.
So I expect Kurt Hawkins to win it. That would be
hilarious.
It would be a hell of a first
It'd be his first win.
In how many ever matches did he win the Rumble?
Yeah.
He comes in at number 1.
I want him to beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. No. Hawkins comes in at number 1 and lasts all the way to the end. But then gets tossed out. That would just be funny. Be like a Slater situation where
gets tossed out by Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder still wrestle? I mean, I know he was injured for a bit. I guess
Let's probably get through all of this.
We probably should. Moving on though, I'm glad that I'm happy for Finn, but Drew should have gotten that.
Yes.
Because I'm not trying to bring age into this, because Finn's still really good, but they probably view him as he's nearly 40. He is. Drew is still in his early 30s. And Drew's in really good shape. Not that Finn isn't. But Drew is more salvageable than Finn. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Otunga's on commentary for this next match because apparently he is Byron Saxton. Ray versus Orton in a chairs match. Ray did a lunging taint bomb and smashed his taint all over that chair. He went booyaka all over that chair.
Oh, gross.
That joke sounded better in my head.
Sure did.
Yeah, right. It was what it was. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Some good chair spots. And then there was this weird 4-chair spot where Ray just did a Hurricanrana into a roll-up and then 1, 2, 3.
Rey Mysterio is nearing his mid-40s and is still able to perform at such a high level.
Just wish it wasn't wasted on feuds like this.
I really feel that when he's ready to retire and he gets, Dominique into NXT and all that, I really think he should maybe go down to NXT and train some of the people there.
Or even work with some of you should have a match with Ricochet at a TakeOver.
Yeah. But before he does, put over Andrade Cien Almas.
Put over Almas for the U.S. title. That could be the idea with Ray. Ray, this might be his last 2 years.
Yeah, and I really hope it is, because I'd like to see him be able to be walking in 40 years.
Maybe he'll grow up by then. I know. It was a good match for what it was, but
Your expectations would come up short.
I'm also disappointed that I didn't say that.
Right.
We then get to Dolph attacking Finn backstage when they had a scrap, because and I don't know what Charlie was doing off camera, but probably enjoying it.
Every moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, enjoying those two men all over each other. Then we get to Ronda versus Nia for the Raw Women's title. It was too long.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I disagree only because of the fact that the one thing I think people wanted to see is a prolonged beating of Nia Jax. Not something that in story one could brush off as a fluke. Like, oh, you just managed to get into an armbar and that was it. This was everything Nia tried to do would not work on Ronda Rousey.
And Ronda had gear that was inspired by Chris Benoit.
Woo. Yup!
That happened.
I wonder she went for so many chokeholds. But anyway, the fact that she got Nia to tap out and Tamina was unable to interfere appropriately.
She kissed the fist right before doing the tap out.
Yes, that was a great move. And the karma doesn't end there. Well, that's not a joke.
No, it's really not.
Karma.
Of course, I want to give a shout out to Oni Rikaku because he said whale beaten up by man. Good job. Very good job. Tamina, of course, had to...
Well, she wasn't beaten up by the man until later.
I know, but we'll get to that. I did like how, you talked about all the chokeholds. Of course, Tamina was right there at ringside.
Right.
Because somebody knows about chokeholds.
Mm-hmm.
For dad that never faced persecution. So, moving on.
Michael Cedric. What was it? Snuck in a miscarriage of justice? Never.
That was good. I like that Nia won. I had a problem because Nia did not deserve the spotlight. No. At all. And then Becky beat up Nia backstage.
Then again, I think this was the best way to do a payoff of beating up Nia Jax, is to make it seem like she's being built up and then being shot all the way back down.
And I know I don't usually root for people to be written off TV, but if she somehow got to where she had to be written off TV because she was injured, just too goddamn bad. Yeah. Nia's terrible.
Anyway, after the match,
Becky beat up Nia.
Yeah. Nia was, holding her arm and she's hurt, and Becky comes up. After a few words, socks her in the face and says, "Keep my name out of your mouth." And then walks off. Tamina walks up and looks at Nia and is like, "What happened?" She's like, "I don't know. We got beat up."
Tamina's like, I saw a woman beat up by a man.
By the man.
It's like my dad never left. Not gonna let that go.
Nope.
But then AJ, at least Ronda retained.
Yeah.
AJ versus Bryan. It was good wrestling.
This is a great match.
It was a very good match. It's not my top 25, but it's a really good match. There were so many good matches.
Oh yeah.
Because you gotta take NXT UK, NXT 205, Raw, SmackDown pay-per-views. There's a whole lot.
Yeah.
And takeovers. A lot of takeovers on that countdown. Very good match. I like how they called it the LaBelle Lock instead, Judo Jean LaBelle Lock, and instead of the Yes Lock,
which is a great move. This is the new Daniel Bryan.
The new Daniel Bryan. AJ tried for everything. Did a nice phenomenal forearm off the barricade. Some really good stuff. And then AJ tried for a small package, but Bryan is Mr. Small Package and reversed it and he got the roll for the 1-2-3.
Yes. And
Styles looked disappointed. It was good stuff, though. I liked that it was essentially somewhat clean. Actually, it was, because Bryan just beat him. Bryan beat him clean in the middle of the ring. Yeah. Didn't hit him with a low blow. AJ may have worn a cup. That's how people knew. That would be the first time he wore a goddamn cup in about a year. But it was good stuff. I enjoyed this. Bryan retaining was the right call. This is going to be Bryan's longest WWE title reign. That's sad.
Yeah, his longest title reign was 2 months.
Just under 2 months, actually. I think it was like just a week under 2 months before he had to relinquish it. But then we get to Rollins versus Ambrose for the IC title, and oh dear.
This was a well-wrestled match. But the storyline coming into this started off hot. And instantly they put it in some liquid fucking nitrogen and cooled the fucker down to absolute zero. And so no one was invested into this match.
It was really sad.
Yeah, we wanted to be invested. We wanted to care. These wrestlers are fantastic performers.
Yes.
They put on a good match.
Yep.
But it was so hard to care.
The crowd was chanting for Becky, which is great. They were chanting this is boring. There were people that were lashing out at it. Let me tell you something. Now, do you fans that like Ambrose and Rollins? I like Ambrose and Rollins.
Yeah.
Creative has fucked this whole thing up. Vince doesn't care about either of these guys. Clearly.
Yeah.
Or if he does, he's putting them in a no-win situation. This should have been before the WWE title match. You should have actually had the WWE title match be in this spot.
Yes. The spot before the main event.
Yeah, because that's where it should have been.
The main event.
Yes, which we'll get to. I hated this because they tried, but it was plodding and boring. Of course, Seth at one point called Dean a motherfucker. That was pretty nice.
Yep.
Ambrose won, and no one cared. No one cared. And
I had to remind myself that he won the IC title.
Like 5 minutes after he did.
Because that felt like that wasn't what was on the line.
Right. There should have been at least a street fight or something. The fact that it was a standard match was really bad.
On TLC. When every other match had some fucking gimmick to it.
Yeah, it's like, I think everything...
Except for the mixed match challenge.
Drew and Balor didn't.
That was kind of a gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah, but Drew and Balor didn't. But still, it was good for what it was. But, yeah, this just wasn't that good. But then we get on to the main event. Asuka versus Becky versus Charlotte. Top 5 match of the year.
I am so in love with this match. This main event was fan-fucking-tastic.
Big fight feel from the beginning. Asuka, huge cheers. Charlotte even got
the crowd instantly leapt back to attention into what's going on in the ring.
Yes.
And I enjoyed every moment of it. But then, near the end of the match, after some horrific spots with Asuka almost failing a powerbomb into the table.
Becky landing on Charlotte after that announcer's table
the table then gave out after they landed, which means Charlotte got the full force of that. Which means somebody in the ring crew needs to figure the fuck out how to set that fucking thing up.
Yeah, I hope that Charlotte's okay.
Yeah, me too. But after all of the terrific spots with Asuka getting the kendo stick back from Charlotte,
it was just some great stuff.
Asuka and Charlotte fighting on the ladder. Becky putting the ladder next to that ladder instead of knocking over that ladder,
Mm-hmm.
and then setting up the ladder. So I put it right next to it, and Charlotte managed to knock Asuka off, hops to the other ladder. Charlotte and Becky duke it out. And then the crowd starts going nuts, and I'm like, oh no, they're not sending out Nia. No, they're sending out Ronda Rousey. Slides into the ring, walks on over, tips the ladder off. Two of them roll out of the ring after landing safely.
Yeah, thankfully.
And then the crowd suddenly realized who's left in the ring, and it's Asuka. And then you hear the crowd start chanting for her. Asuka climbs her way up to the top, faster than a male wrestler.
Faster than most.
Yes. Unhooks it, and Asuka's the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
After all that shit booking she got from Mania on. Well, I mean,
And because it was the one time Vince McMahon looked on what was on TV.
Right, on SmackDown of all time.
Yeah.
Asuka is SmackDown Women's Champion. I hope that anybody that is unhappy about this, that you choke on it, quite frankly, because Asuka deserves this.
Now, I can understand if you didn't like Asuka because you didn't watch NXT, and so you're like, she had some undefeated streak, whatever the fuck. Asuka is a terrific performer.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens with this, with how this pans out. I'm envisioning Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, and Becky winning the Women's Rumble and taking on Ronda Rousey.
I know what's going to happen. Charlotte versus Asuka at the Rumble. Asuka beats her. Charlotte enters the Rumble. Or Asuka versus somebody. Charlotte and Becky are going to co-win the Rumble.
Better idea.
Okay, go ahead.
Asuka beats Charlotte at the Rumble.
Okay.
Sonya Deville wins doesn't win the Rumble, but she...
It's a chamber.
Yes.
And I like that. I have an idea where Becky and Charlotte win the Rumble, co-win the Rumble, and go jump to Raw. And then you have Bayley and Sasha jump to SmackDown. They ain't doing anything with them on Raw.
Nope. Build up to Survivor Series with the four horsewomen versus the four... So the four horsewomen.
The four women.
Four horsewomen. Hi, Sildexia. My name is Hickers.
B+ for the main event? B+?
Not just on the merit of the main event.
There was some good shit on this.
Yes. The matches were great. Some of the storylines leading up into it were crap.
Yep.
But.
Braun winning.
Yeah. There were a lot of great moments in here. And I can't bring the grade down too much because of that. This was not a perfect show.
No.
And I'm more in line with a B than a B+.
I'll actually agree with you on that and go down to a B because the women main event was great.
Because?
Yes. Because. Right.
Yes.
Really, outside of some of those matches, there were a few shit matches. And Ambrose versus Rollins, no fault of their own drag. Yeah. But B for us, B for you, and you.
Mighty Paul right up here. You can vote on it, and you can let me know what grade do you think it should be.
You can leave in the comments what you think, and if you want to be part of the Rumble Number game again, please leave a comment on that.
Tweet at him at Reborn Again, or tweet at me at the _Durbinator.
Yep.
Because I can be your friend.
You're right, and we will also be back with some game streams, stuff like that. There will be a Raw SmackDown review this week, and we'll update you on holiday stuff that we're going to be doing. But agree, disagree, what we said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description.
Yep.
It's been real honesty with Jonn Ritland and
the Durbinator.
We will be back tomorrow for Raw.
Have a good one, folks.